G'day traders, Sam here, and let's do a market recap and what we're looking for, especially in Bitcoin terms. And what do we have? Still looking for more highs, guys, and I'll explain my thoughts and justifications with this chart. It's got some relative new information and some scenarios that we will talk about just to validate our theory. This channel is a channel until it's broken, and so far so good. And from a macro perspective, it makes sense. And if you look at these moving averages, they make sense. And these Fibonacci levels on the side. What we're going to talk about is structure, the macro structure, opportunities that you probably missed out on, potentially a trading strategy that you need to look at, psychology-wise, and also short-term trading potentials. So do we see this as a target? Well, yes and no. And we'll look at this. This was a measured move. So we got that. And the measured move from there to there is roughly our target. So we're close. That just was one theory. This formation here was more like a diamond formation. And it's a continuation pattern. So some people had it such like that. Yeah, you can say that's a diamond formation, and I think it's valid. This channel also makes sense. What we do is we get our 2 reference points or 3, and then we just stretch it out to a point of resistance, and we have slightly more highs. So if this was to go, it will touch that top of the channel and then drop. We'll leave that there for now. We also have this secondary line that's currently touched. So we had resistance here, we had resistance here, and we've got some wicks. And we also had resistance all the way here. So that secondary trend line of resistance makes sense as well. So we can potentially come down from here or have a bit more to go and then drop. So the trading strategy comes from that. The other aspect is that when we dropped here, you can see the middle of the channel. There's a lot of confluence of support, and we got that there as well. And then when we regain these moving averages, you can see how price kept holding above the moving averages, and then of course price pushes up because it couldn't break through it. So that's a bullish sign, and that was also a triangle formation of some sort, and the breakout was imminent to the upside or downside when we called the upside, and that's where we entered our long. So I got a long from here, breakout trade. So my long will stay open, and then I'll be looking to open a short, betting on both ways. If this was to come all the way down, at least my long will give me the profit, and then I'll look for another long entry, and then I'll close my short as price goes up. So that is one scenario, and that is a strategy that I'm looking at. Now let's look at this on a closer time frame, and you can see how these levels are significant. We were talking about this just before. The opportunity missed there is to a breakout trade, and as you look at it from a 1 hour perspective, it was difficult to enter this trade here. But having said that, we can see here we are potentially likely to go further up, and our top of the channel is there. Now what do we have? We have this weekly here, this weekly level, and we've got this 2.618 level, and that 2.618 level comes from the bottom. So let's go back a sec just to explain the 2.618 level Fibonacci. Here we have our Fibonacci. So what we have, if you look from there, we start from the bottom, we hit our wave 1, and then if this is a wave 3 to 4, we put our fib extension there, and then we just look at the Fibonacci levels. You got the 618 as resistance, then you got the 1, you got the 1.618, and therefore we've got the 2.618, and then the 3.618, and so on. That works in many cases and for confluence. And so that 2.618 is a legitimate thing to look at. Now let's go back on the 2 hour. We'll go on the 2 hour, right? There is that possibility that we get a rejection here based on that. Remember, I was saying that secondary resistance line. It's also on the 2.618, so it's possible that we get pulled back here. Very possible. However, I like this weekly level, and then this higher value of 0.68. And then sometimes if you look at Chart Champions, he's got the 0.65. So let's put that 0.65 in there as well, which is there right there. Okay, so that's very possible as well. What we're looking for is that weekly level, and we want to see price hit that weekly level, and if price drops below it, then we look for the short. So that is one strategy, looking for pretty much something like that, or like that. Once it taps that, especially here, if it's a 6.68 or that value of 51,987 on Bybit, I am looking to short this area. So you might enter the short there, and if the price comes up still, I think it's valid to continue shorting. Many people made the mistake of, okay, that was a strong resistance, therefore let's enter the shorts. Some people have entered shorts here, looking at and putting the stop losses, where is it, 50k or just above 50k. So their stop losses are likely to be here. The whales know this, so they watch, and we've been seeing a lot of videos of a few people saying short it, and they would have put their stop loss somewhere in here, and guess what? That's where the liquidity is going to go from. So we accumulate all this and then dump it here, and therefore we should see a pullback. And the pullback, I think, could be deep, and I'll be looking for this level or potentially here, range, and then see what happens. It's going to be a hard area to trade, but the short is a nice entry, definitely, at what I just showed you there. These two levels, you can take one here or one further up. At the moment, I'm not seeing any weakness yet. Yeah, that's a 2 hour. Too early to say. I'm still looking for this. I want to see this weekly tapped. Once it touches the weekly and the response might give us the pull down, and then I think it's valid, and then we just come back down. And these longs, these late FOMO longs, are the first likely targets and fair value gap. So it might just come down here, take some of that. That's why I like this level here, and then we go back up again. So I have this level for liquidity, and then therefore, and this fair value gap area, and you can see these moving averages, guys. These are going to keep coming, and that's where, if price comes there, this is probably your last entrance to go along. If you look at the ETF buying, it's huge. 9k, 11k of Bitcoin's being bought up week after week, so it is bullish, and therefore this might be your last chance to enter longs. So I have my long from here, actually 44,000. So I have my long from here. I'll take a short here, and I'll play the game. So I'll start looking to take profit here, and I'll expect a drop. That's my thinking. If it goes parabolic more, so we've got the channel. So the channel is aligned with this resistance level. So we've got two levels of interest right now, and it makes a good case. Now, let's look at something else as well. Here we have tether dominance, and we were talking about this many times in the past, and we've got the breakdown of tether dominance. And remember, if you looked at my previous videos, we talked about this as a Wyckoff distribution structure, and so this level was significant. We got the last rejection, and then bang, down. So I'm starting to see this as a bull market sign. Now we're starting to see the bull market take off. I don't think this will go up much. We might get a bit of a support here again. As you can see, this level is previous resistance. Therefore, we're seeing a few times being tapped, but I think it'll eventually break down like that. I don't see it going really high. Never know, but I still see it coming down significantly. So tether dominance is supporting the bull market atmosphere. Link is dropping significantly. I didn't like that. So that is sporadic, all over the place. Link. So it doesn't give me confidence that this is going to be here for a while. I think Link's going to go sideways for too long to my liking. And let's look at total market IMEX. Let's look at total market cap as well. I do feel like IMEX is overextended, so liquidity is taken. If it drops below that liquidity level, especially this Fib 1 level that we had for some reason, I think it will drop further down. Let's look at total market cap. Okay, I haven't looked at this for a while. So we've broken above that main resistance level based on, if you look at the 618, so you might just get to the 68. 0.65, let's just put that in there as well. Does work sometimes. And that's where the 0.65 is. Yeah. You can see the value. I like to see it hit the POC, but it might not happen. Let's have a look at it from another perspective. You got some there. And you got this one, the red one there. So if you look across, we have some confluence. So we might just break above it with the Fibonacci as well. This sideways channel is not the one that you can rely on, more so that you can rely on these ones. Let's see, with the non-log, 0.5 is just slightly above. Okay. So here is definitely a bit of resistance, I think. 302 is aligned. Actually, we should do this. That makes more sense. 0.236 is perfectly on that. Yeah, so I still feel like this will go sideways while. We'll be here for a while before we make another move to the upside. Otherwise, if we break this level, then we've got this level up above and seeing that as a resistance to pop. Injective, we talked about this level and you can see perfectly the moving averages. I still have a gut feeling that when this might keep going up a bit here and then pull back with Bitcoin and then potentially up like that with Injective. So might just take out that liquidity just there with these moving averages, might come below it, and then there'll be a strong entry to go along. We've got this trend line that's valid. It's at the moment, I think it's a fake out. It'll come back in, and then even probably down here. I like to see it go down below, and that's my long. It's not the best chart for Injective, but it might not come down that low. I think that's significant. Let's have a look. Yeah, 22%. That's going to be a lot. I don't think that will happen. It really depends how Bitcoin drops. Now let's look at Tether dominance, how it supports our thesis. It is bullish at the moment. It might just, we'll have another attempt, probably another rejection, very similar to this, go sideways, and then eventually see what takes place. But I think we are still looking to get tap this one out, the weekly level. And our weekly level, yep, 760. Okay, 50,760. So that will be our alert, and then watch the reaction. I'm going to leave it at that. Please give me a like and share, and I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
There you have it. Please give Sam a like, share, and subscribe to his channel to support him for doing more of these posts.